we now have Wikan Sakarinto, the Director General of Vocational Education and the Ministry of Vocational Education at the Ministry of Education and Culture, Republic of Indonesia. Wikan is a professor and academician who has been very involved with Ministry of Education for many years. Wikan.
Again, very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, again, thank you very much for the opportunity, and let me continue what previous presenters have already shared to all of you. Now I would like to share about the transforming of vocational education system for the future needs. I think this slide most probably have been shown by previous speakers, so I'm not going to talk about this, but this is the real challenge, and this is the real target that we have to achieve, since we are expecting the demography bonus. And actually, recently in Kompas newspapers, 24th April 24, I have share the article, what so-called vocational education and the Vision of Indonesia 2045. And this is actually what I'm going to explain this at this moment. So Industry 4.0, Society 5.0, again and again, I'm not going to discuss this aspect too much, because I'm sure that we've been quite familiar, we've been quite engaged with these issues. And okay, and this is just how we ask to ourselves about our educations in general. And we also have to consider about the technologies that are likely to be adopted in 2025, from cloud computing, big data analysis, and all of this should be really become high concerns as for our teaching methodology, teaching materials, curriculum, and how we improve the link and match vocational and industries. Okay, let me start my presentations. So we are from Directorate General of Vocational Education. Some people sometimes call us Dixie. So we cover around 2,000 campus, polytechnics, universities, institutes, sekolah tinggi, akademi, and academic komunitas, around 2,200 campuses, public and also private, and also 14,000 high schools or vocational high schools, we call it SMK. And last but not least, quite a lot is 17,000 training centers. So we cover all of this, and our policy is link and match. It's not a new terminology. It's not a new concept to be linked and to be really matched. But somehow, the last years, for the last maybe 10 or 20 years, the link and match concept have been not so much implemented comprehensively, since only MOU signing and put the newspaper. Sometimes some schools may claim that they're already link and match with industry. So we would like to apply link and super match in the whole aspects. Later, I will show you how the link and match concept now we apply. The thing is, we would like to see our campuses, our schools, to come up with this graduates type. So not only certificates, but competence is more important. I'm competent meaning that I'm able to perform. Cognitive used to be too much. So I will always say that I will always tell to people that it used to be in the vocational in the vocational educations, not only in SMK but also in campuses, cognitive was too much. Soft skills, characters, we really have to uh, uh, give more proportions to deal with soft skills and integrity. And we've been we've been receiving many complaints from industry, and most of them, I think 90% complaint is about soft skills and characters. So I think link and match what so-called 8 plus I. This is what we apply. First is curriculum to be designed and to be approved by industries. To be designed and to be approved together, schools and industries. That is the must at the number one most priority. Further, now we are modifying the curriculum for SMK, vocational high schools. We make it to be more flexible, to be more adaptive, and to be more agile. And we set up more portion for soft skills and project-based. So the number two, the concern of number two, developing soft skills. So there will be much more portion for project-based learning. So we bring the project, we get the project, real project from industry, and address to the students in the class, and make them to deal with, split them into teams and to deal with the real project, and they have to come up with a real product that satisfy the industry who send the project, or who to have the request for the project. If they cannot satisfy the industry, meaning they cannot pass the subject. So they have to work together. So communication skills, presentation skills, teamwork, and etc. will be automatically embedded into the system if we apply more project-based learning. So number one and number two is the most important things. And then we also push the schools, university, at least 50 hours up to 100 hours per semester, each program, to be taught by teacher from expert from industry, to be taught by the expert professional from industry. Next thing is internship, minimum of 1 semester, can be up to 3 semesters, but minimum 1 semesters. Certificate of competence to be agreed or to be designed together with the first phase when they design the curriculum together. And teachers or lecturers to be regularly trained by industry to upgrade or to maintain their knowledge based on what the industrial reality going on. Applied research. Applied research is something like this. Start from the end. So they only can start conducting the research when there is case, or when there is problem, or when there is request from industries or society. Don't start conducting research if there is no signal from the end side. But to some case, they could start conducting the research by means of to come up with the new invention. That's also possible. But don't start with the TRL. Start with the market readiness level and venture readiness level. Don't think that not only producing the research products just only to publish and to get the promotion to be the professors. And that's what's been happening up to now. So we are changing this. We are modifying this. We are modifying the regulations. The regulation for promotion, the regulation for accreditations, the regulation of curriculum. So we are now have been in the ongoing modifying of those regulations. So this is what so-called research, applied research, should be triggered by the real case, the real problem, or the real request from industry or society. So the result is the real product to be delivered real product to be delivered to the market or to the community, but they could also publish. That's also fine. But don't think as the priority research, conducting research just only to publish publications. So that's not the first thing. First thing is market readiness level, venture readiness level, and TRL coming up with the real product to be delivered to the customers or the community, and then they could also publish this. For the promotion, it's kind of fine. It's kind of good to have the publications, but don't only think the publication without any destinations to come up with the real product. So that's number 7. That was number 7. And number 8, commitment of to absorb the graduates. And I could be scholarships, donations, job contract, and etc. from industry. So this is what we have recently released to all 2,000 campuses, 14,000 SMKs, and 17,000 training centers. So the idea is industry should come to the earlier phase to cook together. Don't wait at the end after we complete our meals, and then they try the meals and they are not satisfied. They complain, and then they got to improve in their training centers. So why don't put the training centers system into our system? So put it together and then just put it under our curriculum. So that's why I told you that the curriculum and also the soft skills aspects to be the most priority that we have to deal with as soon as possible. The new structure of curriculum, not only the content of curriculum. Content is of course, but the new structure of curriculum will be changed as soon as possible. Now we are changing that, but I'm sorry I cannot show you up to now because we are now still in the progress to upgrade that. And these are the pictures if vocational campus or SMK or training centers, that those who have managed to realize the link and match. I told you graduates should be like this. Competency, certificate of competence, and etc. Something like this. So in the right hand side, certificate of competence, and English. In the left hand side, new real product from project-based learning. Curriculum, I've mentioned previously, curriculum should be adaptive, agile, and flexible, and to be created and designed and approved together with the industry. Project-based learning, applied research, teaching factory. Teaching factory as the continuation of project-based learning. And also applied research. So sometimes I call it teaching industry, embedded with the research system. Input, yes, new students with passion and visions. This is very, very, very much important. If we get new students with no passions, no visions, they don't like to study in vocational, then it's not going to work on. So promotions, branding, it's also most important things. Student achievement, not only academic but also competition of applied science, sports, art, and leadership to be officially recognized within the curriculum. That is part of soft skills leadership. Strong entrepreneurship, yes, entrepreneurships will be mandatory within the curriculum. So if we can manage to come out with this kind of graduates, I'm sure entrepreneurship spirit will be much stronger. And etc. So okay, the challenge is this slide. For the whole concept, regulations, and things that we want to achieve, we have the challenge that the mindset of teachers, principals, lecturers, the head of departments, the director of polytechnics, we really have to change their mindset. I'm not saying that the mindset is still below there in the bottom level. No, it increased, yes, but we have to increase this, we have to improve this more rapidly, faster, because we have to we have to catch up the bonus demography moment that we have to to convert this into the power mindset. It means like if we uh, if we plant something to the soil with no very less fertile soil, so it's like the mindset of character of teacher, lecturers, headmaster, and etc. still not fertile. Then how uh, uh, if we set up with with a lot of money, then it just come up with tools and buildings, but the results is not what industry expect. So we have to train, we have to change the mindset, teachers, principals, lecturers. They really have to understand this concept completely and holistically, to be linked and match with industry, to understand what industry want, soft skills and characters. Stop only focusing on hard skills. That's what I meant. As long as teachers, lecturers, they only focus on hard skill, they cannot, they do not know how to conduct project-based learning into their teaching delivery, then I would say the soil is very less, very not fertile. So we have to realize this slide, these pictures. First is we invest a lot of money. It's been 1 year and it's going up to 4 or 5 years from now. We we are changing the mindset and character of teachers, lecturers, and also principals and directors. So when it's get fertilized, then the funding that we invest, not only building and tools, but the most important thing is the results or the fruit is just what expected. And what is that? Is this. It is character. So this is also one challenge. Another challenge is that we are now modifying the how to emphasize, to which degree that we are focusing more. So we now only focus on applied bachelor, applied masters, diploma 2, and SMK. So we are not focusing too much more on diploma 3 or maybe diploma 1. And this is the scheme of the sustainability of study programs. So SMK will be SMK of 3 years with the minimum 1 semester of internship, minimum 1 semester, could be more than 1 semester, or SMK to be linked with campus and industry. And we develop what so-called SMK Diploma 2 Fast Track. So SMK and campus, vocational campus, to be connected with Diploma 2 Fast Track, not 4 semesters, but only 3 semesters. And only 1 semester, they got to go to the Polytechnic for study in the Polytechnic. But the last 2 semesters, they study while they work. Internships, what we call dual system. So we have to prepare also the industry to work together with this program. So it will be faster and it will create more or stronger soft skills, because they really learn to swim by swimming. And diploma 2 with 4 semesters, diploma 3 is not too many. We want to improve all to diploma 4 or applied bachelors. And we also applied what so-called Merdeka Belajar, applied masters, and in the future applied doctor. So this scheme will attract the young generations to choose their study path based on their passions, based on their visions, and based on what they love to do, not based on what parents tell, not based on only certificate that they want to get. Because if the parents tell their children to choose the study path but with no passions, it's not going to work out. So that's what also has been happening in Indonesia. Many students, many young people in Indonesia, young generation of Indonesia, they decide their study path just based on what people say, based on what parents say, based on just want to get the bachelor certificate, academic sometimes, not vocationals. But actually, they are not so strong on that field of study. Or maybe their passion should be on the vocational, should be more hands-on. And that's what happened in Indonesia. And this is very serious problem, since if the new students or input for vocational educations, students with no passions, with no strong passions, with no visions, then it's not going to work out. The whole system that I've been explained to you. This is the example of diplom 2 fast track. For example, Polytechnic in Bali to be connected with SMK, many SMK in Bali in the field of tourism, and start from the end. Many international hotels, for example, St. Regis, Hilton, Kempinski, Horizon, Conrad, they raise the demand of graduate for these jobs: front office, food and beverage, kitchen and housekeeping. If we provide this with bachelor, it's too much. So instead of bachelor, we provide it with diplom 2 fast track with only 1 semester study in the Polytechnic Negeri Bali, and then the last 2 semesters they study while they work in the hotel. And in Madiun City, it's about the train technology. So diplom 2 of welding and also train technology. Again and again, start from the end, based on what Inca company expect, what kind of graduates they want to absorb. So I think that's all my presentations. The last one is, yes, we have to also consider that the curriculum, all curriculum in this program should also implement digital technology into it. That's also mandatory for the new curriculum. Since these 15 top skills for 2025 and the futures, it will be like this. And yes, PISA also as well. SMK also we have to deal with PISA concern as well. Not only hard competence, but also literacy, numeracy, soft skills, and characters. Project-based learning, as I mentioned, is also important solutions. And lectures should also can perform as a facilitator, mentor, and coach. Because project-based learning, they perform as a facilitator. Do not only teach or tell students always, but just make the students to be the center of learning. Okay, this is also change directions I also mentioned. Last but not least, super test deduction, also very it's also promising, but still yet not too much used strongly, because industry somehow still there is still gap of understanding between industries and super test deduction. So it can be 200 tax deducted as an incentive for any companies who those are willing to spend investment or support for vocational educations. Okay, I think that's all my presentations. Thank you very much, and looking forward to perhaps if there are any discussion. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Pak Wikan.